You may be surprised to see Shy Guy Falls on this list, but there's a really good shortcut at the end. In fact, you're probably already thinking that I'm going to get it shroomless, but I'm not that good. So I'm going to just get it with a mushroom so that you guys aren't accusing me of playing this game 24/7, okay? No, no! I always fall off the course. I have to get shortcuts. It's what I do. Please don't fall off the course. Yes. Alright, the shortcut on the first lap was pretty rough, not gonna lie. Oh, that was pretty rough too. Anyway, I'm gonna try to do better on the second and third lap so that you guys aren't yelling at me in the comments. By the way, if you guys want to see one of your favorite courses in one of our videos, just comment down below and we will include it in the video. Like I said in the last video, we're going to do all of the base game courses first, and then we're going to move on to the DLC tracks. Because the DLC, you know, it's kind of expensive and we don't have it yet. Anyway, Mario Kart just defies gravity. I'm literally looking straight down. Like, everything about this game doesn't make sense. Including these mushrooms. How do these mushrooms make you go fast? You know, feel free to laugh at me in the comments. That shortcut was very rough. And that is Shy Guy Falls. Welcome to part 3 of Best Shortcuts in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. First, we'll be starting off with Mario Circuit. The first one is right here. You can use 2 mushrooms to cut off a huge section of the track. And that is the best shortcut in this course, because it's like the only shortcut on this course. I mean, that's not entirely true. There is one up here that you can do the same trick on, but using 2 mushrooms on, to just cut across that sand instead of the grass. Which I've tested it, and if you cut off the green part, the grass, it's actually faster than the sand shortcut. So, yes, you really want to go for this. This course is like super boring, but, you know, there's some shortcuts on it. Like I said, this is part 3, so if you haven't already, please go watch parts 1 and 2, because we are a channel that is wanting to grow. Did you hear that noise? That's the loudest thing I've ever heard in Mario Kart, I think. Maybe except me hitting a Goomba, that was pretty loud too. By the way, I do get this question a lot. Why am I using Pink Yoshi? You know, Yoshi's the best character and pink is just like the best color. So, don't judge me. And that is Mario Circuit. The next track is Urchin Underpass. No, I'm kidding. Urchin Underpass is a battle course. This is Dolphin Shoals. If you couldn't already tell from the dolphins and the rocks all around us. There's one main shortcut on this track, It can be done shroomless in 200cc, but 200cc is like something none of us practice. Anyway, the shortcut is coming up, so yay. Look, that shortcut saves a lot of time. Like, not gonna lie. Also, while you're playing this course, be sure to just look around at all the coral stuff, because it's really cool. By the way, this eel I'm on, believe it or not, eels are my favorite underwater creature, even if they can be a bit scary sometimes. By the way, in the last video, I told you about how I'm 8 seconds behind the record on Super Bell Subway, and I actually showed you the shortcuts on Super Bell Subway. But quick update on my really good runs. I finally have a time of 1 minute 48 seconds on 150cc. I want one of you guys to try to beat that. Like, that is very hard to do better. Only if your name is Jenzua or Vincent or any of the good Mario Kart players. Also, something that's really cool about this course is when you're underwater, the music is kind of quieter, but when you're above water, the music is louder, which I think is really cool, and that is Dolphin Shoals. The next track on our list is whatever this track is. I forgot the name. I think it might be Electrodrome, right? Probably. There's a really cool trick on this track that all the professionals use. It's called a Genzua glider, which I'll explain it in one of the upcoming videos. It's a complicated concept. Also, everyone thinks it's Electrodome. Like, you know, it'd be like we're inside a giant, like, dome, you know? But it's actually Electrodrome, which I just learned the other day, so I learn stuff every day too, by the way. Also, look what it looks like when you're driving in this stuff. Look at what's coming out of my wheels. That is so cool. Like, I don't know why they would make it that realistic, but they do. It's almost like they assume you're gonna go in the off-road, which, interesting, you know? By the way, the Genzua glider that the pros use is right here. They literally cut off this entire corner. Ow. Which I can just do simply by using a mushroom, but they seem to think that that's boring. Wait, what if I do this? Will it just like push me off? Oh. I wanted to get caught in the wall or something, but apparently Nintendo's too smart for me. They find ways to push me out. Also, I probably could have done this course on 150cc, but I decided not to. Wait, did I say 150cc? I meant to say 200. The first track is whatever this track is. I literally forgot the name. Don't go in the snow, or else whatever just happened to me will happen to you. You know, this ice is very slippery, so you know, try not to get many shortcuts while you're on the ice. By the way, there is a shortcut right here. If you're better than I am, you can get it. Which, it's sad that I can't do it, because it's super easy. I can't believe I forgot what this track is called, but I guess we are approaching Wario's Dam. This is the biggest dam in Mario. It's the only dam in Mario. Alright, I think there should be some shroomless shortcuts right here. Yeah, right here. Maybe not shroomless, but maybe shroom. By the way, there's a lot of good drifting spots on this course if you saw what I just did, you know. Also, the Winter Olympics just happened. There's a lot of skiing, so you can pretend that you were in the Olympics if you just hop on Mario Kart right now. For example, skiing down these big slopes. And with that, whatever this course is done. The next track is Cloud Top Cruise. Many people hate this course, which I honestly don't know why. There's a lot of good shortcuts, such as that one, and a few others. By the way, you do want to go to the left on the airship, because it gives you better alignment for the next section. Also, I don't know why, but there's lightning inside here. Actually, I think it's probably because we're inside clouds. I wouldn't like to make predictions, but I think that's why. And also, yeah, that's just so cool. That is a shortcut. You can get it if you're really good, which I am not. Oh, I completely missed the shortcut. That's too bad. There's really no places on this track where you can use mushrooms. Yeah, that's too bad. Also, most of you guys don't know how to look backwards in Mario Kart. You simply do so by holding down the X button, if you're playing on Nintendo. Uh-oh, almost went off the track. Never mind, I did go off the track. Also, not gonna lie, this music kind of sounds like Indiana Jones. Like, is it just me? Also, I know I was talking about Jinzua Glider earlier in this video. Jinzua Glider basically just involves motion glider, which, if you turn motion controls on, you can double the inputs of your glider. Like, look how sharp I'm turning now. That is cool, to say the least. Most people just turn it on whenever they want to do a cool Jinzua or something, but anyway, that is Cloud Top Cruise.